Hello everyone on YouTube, all my subscribers and anybody who might be watching this video. We're now into October time and we got 5 fixtures to come this month. Obviously we're going to do October like we've done with September in 2 parts. We're going to do 2 games to start the first part of the month, and then obviously the final 3 for the second half. And the final 3 games of this particular month are actually big games. We look at the calendar. The league games we're going to be showing in the first part in this video are the Leicester away game, which is our next match, and the home match with West Ham, and a bit of an outro on this video. And then for our second video we're going to be doing the home Champions League game with Milan, another home match against Everton in the Premier League, and that round of 16 League Cup tie away at Manchester United. Probably the League Cup's tie of the round. But that's the latter 3 are all to come in the future. Let's look at the league table before we go into the clash with Leicester City. We're in 5th position. We're in that UEFA Cup spot at the moment. We've got 11 points from our 6 games. Won 3, drawn 2, lost 1, scored 11, conceded 5, goal difference of +6. Leicester, well, they played the same games, won 1, drawn 2, lost 3. Not a bad start. They're only in the bottom 3 on goal difference. Southampton just about edging it on goals scored over Leicester at the moment. But it's still early days, and Leicester are a tough side, so we would expect a tough game against Leicester. Anyway, without further ado, we're going to go off to the King Power Stadium for our next game against Leicester City to start this particular video off and running. And welcome to the King Power Stadium. Glad you could join us. As I said at the intro, it's the first of 2 games on this video, and we travel to Leicester City, and it's a boisterous one. As you can see, Burnley in 5th place, as I said at the top of the video. Leicester, as I said at the top of the video, in 18th position, but there's only 6 points difference, so it's still going to be a close run thing, and Leicester will make it hard for Burnley this afternoon as the 2 teams emerge from the tunnel. Leicester finished top of the Premier League, the Championship last season, with Burnley promoted in 2nd position, so battle of the Championship's top 2 from last season. There's David Nugent, ex-Claret of course, up against his former side. And let's have a look at that Leicester lineup. Plenty of experience there. Cambiasso and Drinkwater in the midfield. Nick Powell playing in behind David Nugent there. Mahrez and Albrighton on both wings. Chris Wood is amongst the substitutes alongside Jamie Vardy and Anthony Knockart. Now Burnley have had to make a significant change in the attack because Harry Kane has got an injury, so he could be out for a few weeks. So Sam Vokes comes in and partners Danny Ings up front. Otherwise it's the same 11. That's been picking itself in recent games. That beat Lyon, in fact, 3-0 in the last match. Christopher Kebart, 28 years old, he's a defender. He's going to have his hands full with the reunited Vings combination. Esteban Cambiasso, the Leicester City captain. The referee today, Michael Oliver. Absolutely tipping it down here in the East Midlands today. Burnley, of course, in them claret and blue shirts, so get us away. They attack the goal to our left. Here's Shackle. Brighton. Leicester, of course, in the bottom 3 on goal difference, as I was saying at the top of the video. Brighton to take the throw. That's a nice turn there. Problems here for Burnley there. Dawson got a foot in. In the end, I think it might have been a slight deflection. Hard to say from that angle, but no, he didn't. I actually thought Dawson had actually got a touch on that because Heaton was looking as if well done there, because he seemed to have made something of it. Here's Jones. First attack here for the Claret. Schmeichel comes over, there his goal, and that's just trickled wide. It was Drinkwater who had the initial shot. No, it just went wide of the post. I think Dawson might have put him off. I think that's what Tom Eaton was patting him on the back for. So we cleared that little mystery up. I think Ings had just come close there as well for Burnley. So both sides have had a chance each. Jones, Kitely. He's had a good start of the season, Michael Kitely, and he's done well again here. Another teasing cross there. Ings was lurking, and so too is Jones. Jones with the shot, blocked by Schmeichel. Jones follows up again, and it's cleared away. Here's Albrighton, or rather Nugent rather, and Nugent has got away from the defender. Now he's got two in the middle. If Nugent can pull that across. And it's out for a throw to Leicester, or Brighton to Nugent. Go back here, and it comes to Kitely now, who can bomb down this wing. He's got two to his right. Ings and Vokes, as you would expect. Early crossing there, curls beautifully, and Vokes got there and headed it straight into the arms of Kasper Schmeichel. Jones in very quickly. Here's Ings. Vokes. Ings again. And Biasso intercept. Good ball up towards Nugent. And Biasso. Back across. Jones intercepts once again. Danny Ings. 28 minutes gone, and here's Danny Ings. Good effort. And it's a good game here developing here in the East Midlands in the rain. Schmeichel was grasping at thin air, but the ball had just curled the wrong side of the post from Burnley's point of view. Schmeichel prepares to take a goal kick. Davy Jones. Kitely. And he's bombing down that left hand side. And again a delicate chip cross, and Ings almost got in there. I think he could do with a goal, Danny Ings. Here's Ward. Ings again. Oh, wonderful skill by Ings. Wonderful save by Schmeichel. Corner kick. So, currently with a run over this set piece. It's a good floated corner, but Leicester had plenty of bodies back, and it's up towards Nugent. He's the furthest man forward at the moment for Leicester. Got no real support in the middle yet. Cambiasso starting to make a run forward, and in the end it's behind for a goal kick. Dawson, Shackled, Kitely. Maybe that's a little bit strong. And slid in with Schmeichel, which Schmeichel always had the ball in the first place. Intercepted there because Ings was actually coming back from an offside position. Here's Dawson. Can't be well in again. Ings is there too. And the flag has stayed down. And Danny Ings cuts in. And another good save by Schmeichel. He made that about 4 or 5 saves he's had to make in this first half alone. As the whistle goes, Burnley have tested and probed the goal, but yet no breakthrough here at the King Power. Burnley on top, but can't beat Kasper Schmeichel there. Half time here at the King Power. It's Leicester City 0, Burnley 0. times, a few half times to keep our peepers on at the moment at Villa Park, not too far away, about 20 miles down the road. It's Aston Villa 1, Manchester City 1-0. That's a turn up for the books there. 1-1 at Stamford Bridge in the London Derby between Chelsea and Arsenal. Hull City 1, Crystal Palace 0. So not good news there for Palace, who could do with a win to get themselves out of the bottom three. Another turn up at the moment at Anfield. Tony Pulis's West Brom leading Brendan Rodgers Liverpool by a goal to 0 at Anfield. Sunderland 1, Stoke 1 at the Stadium of Light. Same score between Swansea and Newcastle, 1-1 at the Liberty Stadium. And finally, another London derby, West Ham United 0, QPR 1 at Upton Park. Here at the King Power, it's 0-0. And there's been no substitutions, so it's as you were as we get this second half underway. And it's Leicester City with Cambiasso on the ball, attacking the goal to our left. Advantage play for Burnley. Ball forward, and now Kennings get there first. Oh, looked as if he was impeded there. Why isn't the referee not giving a free kick to Burnley? It looked as if that was a deliberate attempt to block the Burnley player, Danny Ings. Ball was there to be won, and he wasn't allowed to get towards that. Here's Whelan, no. Pass was intercepted. If it wasn't for Kasper Schmeichel, Burnley would be relaxing for the second half with the pipe and slippers up. Now card given to Esteban Cambiasso for that earlier challenge that the referee had initially played an advantage for. Burnley get a throw now. Gnabry. Trippier just couldn't quite keep it in play. Anthony Knocker is about to come on for Albrighton, 57 minutes into the game. And the first substitution of the afternoon takes place. I have to say the conditions here are quite wet and treacherous, and it doesn't make for too much good. Great footballers. Folks tries to get things in behind, but again, good defending there by Leicester. To charge forward now, the home side of Jones in there very quickly. Second change, off comes Powell, and Andy King comes on now for Leicester City. Powell hardly been in the game at all, and quite rightly Nigel Pearson decides that Nick Powell's game is up and Andy King is on. So Pearson making two changes rather quickly. Glenn Whelan, Michael Kitely, Jones is further forward, and here he is now. Still Jones, and still across the face of the goal. 3 goals already to his credit. David Jones, as Jamie Vardy now enters the frame in Leicester City's final change. He replaces David Nugent. Burnley are going to make a change themselves, as Scott Arfield replaces Serge Gnabry on the right hand side. Gnabry's the first change. So a bit of fresh legs pumped into the Burnley 11 now. So Leicester have used 3, Burnley have used the 1. And the Burnley's strength and depth is good, obviously with a couple of first teamers out for injury at the moment. Injury's onside here. Folks waits in the middle. That's a good cross, but it's nodded away. In fact, it wasn't a good cross. Ended up nowhere near Vokes in the end. Ward did well. Now Dawson. Trippier. Now first chance to see what he can do down that right hand side. Plenty of good running there by Scott Arfield. A little chip back, and it's nodded away again. Here's Jamie Vardy, former Fleetwood Town player. Just coming up towards the last 10 minutes of the second half rather. And the ball forward again. That's a good crossing. Oh no! Disaster for Burnley! Leicester have scored! Oh, this was not what we wanted to see, and I think it's the substitute Andy King who's got it. Tom Eaton didn't have a prayer, and I think it is Andy King. Well, it is King indeed, and it's a blow for Burnley, who could be losing 2 Premier League games on the bounce. My word. Well, Burnley have created all the chances. I found Kasper Schmeichel and his back four a real barrier, and now could end up being beaten here by the classic sucker punch. But wait, here's Danny Ings now. Can he equalise? Yes! And he picks the ball up and says, come on, we've still got time to win it. And Ings comes up with a crucial equaliser for Burnley. 2 goals in a minute. Leicester in front through King. And now Ings equalises. Well, we're in for a finish now. 5 minutes just to go, and Ings has managed to notch up his 3rd goal of the season. 2 minutes between the 2 goals. What an incredible finish. Well, Burnley were for a couple of minutes staring defeat well and truly in the face. Now Sam Vokes has got a Burnley on another attack, and he's played it into Danny Ings now. And he's past the defender. Can he get another one? Ings! Straight at Schmeichel. And that could be a match-saving save from Peter Schmeichel's son. Well, it looked to all intents and purposes. It's gone out for a throw. Now Burnley were going to lose this game. Might end up drawing it, but it's a point they didn't think they'd have when they went 1-0 down. But here's Vokes, and Ings, he's won it! What a finish! 2 for Ings, and Burnley have snatched it right at the end. The Things combination to the Clarets rescue. And not even the brilliant Kasper Schmeichel can save that one. Leicester thought they snatched it. And then Burnley got themselves back in it. And now, all of a sudden, Danny Ings has won it. Ings stopped his time in the most dramatic fashion you could ever see. A remarkable game of football. Final whistle. And Burnley have snatched a victory. When 5 minutes earlier it looked like being defeated when King ended Leicester in front in the 85th minute. But then in the 83rd minute, then Ings in the last 4 or 5 minutes snatched victory for Burnley, who have won this game here at the King Power by 2 goals to 1. And well, welcome to Turf Moor, as Burnley now look to keep on winning. They got back at the top of the table. They jumped up 4 places with that late show at Leicester City. This is the table at the moment. Leicester, Burnley top one, goal difference from Everton, West Brom in third, West Ham with 8 points from their first 7 games. Tough for West Ham at the moment. And they won't get any easier with a trip to Turf Moor to face the same 11 that had to come from behind to snatch victory at the King Power last week. Of course, there's an international break, then there's the European match here with Milan for Burnley, but this is the same 11 that started the match at the King Power, came back in the last 5 minutes to snatch victory against Leicester City. It's the Vince partnership that served them so well when they were in adversity last week. One notable player in that West Ham side, as you saw there, was Andy Carroll. He played alongside Enner Valencia in attack. Kevin Nolan were playing behind. Noble and Zarate were playing in the midfield with Song, the holding midfielder. Chiatti and Reid are the two centre-backs. And their goalkeeper, Adrian. Not a bad goalkeeper, 27 years old. Hasn't really reached his peak yet as a goalkeeper. They don't reach their peak, usually, goalkeepers, until they're about 30, 31 usually. And the man in charge today of this pretty crucial game here at Turf Moor. As Burnley look to obviously try and move further up the table points wise is Roger East. Turf Moor absolutely buzzing. One defeat all season so far from 7 games going into this one. So Burnley, of course, in them famous claret and blue, get us away, attacking the goal to our right. West Ham in an all-change shirt, an all-change shirt of light blue with a navy blue stripe down the middle of the shirt. They'll attack the goal to our left in this first half. Here's Serge Gnabry. Crossing by him. Here's Whelan. Knock it back into the danger zone, and Vokes with an early shot there, and a great snapshot there from Vokes, and a super snap save there from Adrian. Just turning away to make the save. Good shot on the turn. Excuse me. So Jones to take the corner. Adrian's come a long way. Trippier, not afraid to have a go. Another corner, got a deflection. Jones to take the corner. Adrian stayed at home this time. Dawson is there. Easy one there for Adrian. Vokes. Jones did very well. Got a cross. Now Gnabry. Sweet skills. So a lovely cross. Vokes is there, but so too is Adrian, and Vokes is falling inside the goal net there. I think he's going to be okay. A little awkwardly perhaps. Referee stopped the game. A free kick, I think, to West Ham, which caught me by surprise. Zarate will take the excuse me, free kick. Bumps it in, and I think it's a goal kick. Real opportunity there for West Ham. There were plenty going in there. At the end, came to nothing. Tom Eaton wasn't really threatened too much in his goal. Trippier. Now Gnabry. Like it crossing again, and Ings was lurking this time. Whelan! Easy one there for the goalkeeper. You're wondering why I'm just coughing a little bit. It's my voice is just breaking up a little bit, so apologies for that. There's Danny Ings. Sam Vokes trying to get it through to Danny Ings. Lovely little flick there. And he goes down. Roger East unmoved. Doesn't give anything. Vokes ambles into the penalty area. That's a good cross. And Vokes, Ings rather was out jumped. Here's Whelan. Can't get it out of his feet. Burnley asking all the questions, but so far West Ham have got all the answers. Here's Ings again. Side netting. Marvellous effort there from Danny Ings. just wide. Struck it magnificently. Dawson has picked up an injury and all of that. Anything with no real shot to save at the moment. Adrian's had 5. He might be about to be called up on again because Vokes has gone clean through and is saved. West Ham again, Adrian. It would be a cricket score now if Adrian hadn't been in the way of all those shots. Have rained in on him. Jones with the corner. Shackley's up there, but he's beaten to it. Gnabry in there. Gnabry! Again, easy for Adrian. Ball played in. Oh, dear me. We didn't see that one coming, did we? Three-header there. Kevin Nolan. Last minute now of the first half. Sounds have created a numerous amount of chances, although West Ham have failed to hit the target with theirs. Gnabry to the byline. That's a wonderful cross back! And it deflected behind again. Well, Sam Vokes is having most of the chances in this first half. And once again, I thought it was blocked by a defender, but it wasn't. It was the goalkeeper blocking. So another corner. Oh, and off the bar. Well, it just won't go in for Burnley in the first half. Vokes winning the header, but he hit the top of the bar. Frustration in the first 45 minutes for the Clarets. And Adrian and every part of his goal frame has kept Burnley from scoring in this game. Dawson's header. Jones. Still David Jones. And he tries the shot, and it's gone into the cricket field stand as the half-time whistle goes. Well, Adrian has pulled off some magnificent masterclass of goalkeeping to keep the Clarets out at the moment. Dawson is struggling with an injury. We're not sure if he'll come back out for the second half. But half-time here at Turf Moor. Burnley 0, West Ham United 0. Hole 1 at the Emirates. At Selhurst, it's 1-1 between Palace and Chelsea. 1-1 also at Goodison between Everton and Aston Villa. Same at the Etihad between Man City and Tottenham. And also 1-1 at St James's between Newcastle and Leicester. QPR Liverpool 0-0 at Loftus Road. Sunderland winning at Southampton by 1-0. St Mary's 2-0 to Stoke at the Britannia against Swansea. And at the Hawthorns, West Brom 0, Manchester United 1. And there's going to be a slight change in defence because Dawson is carrying a knock. So Michael Duff is going to come on as second half replacement. Obviously Dawson has got bigger battles with AC Milan coming up in a week or two's time in the European Cup. So Burnley now starting the second half, attacking the McElroy into our right. And Ings has missed it. First clear-cut opportunity of the second half for the Clarets, and Adrian was beaten this time, but he couldn't hit the target, Danny Ings. He got the winning goal against Leicester. He got both goals against Leicester when Burnley ought to be heading to a certain defeat, having dominated 83 minutes of the game and then fell behind to that goal from Andy King. Only for Ings to get him out of jail, get us out of jail that day. Here come West Ham. Ooh, 8-1. Referee straight out with the yellow card. Glenn Whelan. So free kick in a very dangerous position. Wanted in. Duff was there to win the header. Still not away yet. West Ham trying to make inroads here. And It's Whelan, he could well be off here. Oh no, Roger East has sent him off for 2 yellows. Whelan looks distraught. I think he's playing for that, Zarate. I think that's rather unfortunate. I think he got that one a little bit wrong. I think Roger East could have been on the side of caution then if he'd wanted to, but instead Burnley down to 10 men, have to face a 3 kick, and they almost scored from it, West Ham. Zarate so close. And not close enough. Sign netted. Burnley have to play the rest of the match with 10 men, and I think it was rather unfortunate. The first one I don't disagree with, the yellow card, that is, and then he really shouldn't have died in there, admittedly, but I think he should have erred on the side of caution there, the referee. Just plays into West Ham's hands at the moment, and Andy Carroll now breaking forward. And unfortunately, he couldn't prevent that going behind for a corner. So, West Ham prepared to float another one in deeper corner this time. Trippier getting it forward. Nobody further forward, and it's Ings leading the charge here, and he'll get there. Pace to burn this fella. Shot deflected, it would be a Burnley corner. That's better. Trippier had gone ghosting forward there, as you can see. So it's going to be a corner now to Burnley. It's going to be Kindly to take it. Burnley, remember, down to 10 men. Ward. Still Ward. Good save, Adrian. And it crosses the line for another corner. Stephen Moore with a terrific shot. And Adrian got in the way of it. Well, I think we're in for another dramatic late twisted the tail here at Turf Moor this time. Kindly win another corner. And a header goalwards again. And I think it was Shekel this time. Into the arms of the unbeatable, looking that way, Adrian. Joe's having to wonder, he's central midfield on his own. They take a striker off at the moment, and although they might have to here, Burnley going to have to make a change. And folks, is going to be replaced here by George Boyd, who will play in the centre. We'll play in the centre of midfield. We'll just making sure that this is right. Yeah, indeed it is. So Boyd will play in the midfield area. So Birmingham having to make a substitution. They're going to have to play with one up top. Folks is frustrated. I can understand that, but needs must when you're down to 10 men. So Birmingham now having to revert to one up top. And Boyd gets his first touch. Ings up ahead of him. Ings went down. Carry on, says the referee. Boyd. Ings, Gnabry to the right, and he just couldn't get it out from under his feet there, Danny Ings. 10 minutes to go. Good sliding challenge. Jones again wins it. And the flag stayed down. Ings now onside. Oh, he's blazed it over. And there's a sharp intake of breath here, because Burnley should have been in front by now. West Ham about to make a substitution. Zarate replaced Carlton Cole about to come on. Boyd still going and still going. It's George Boyd. Oh no, how many more chances are we going to waste? Boyd did the hard part, got into the shooting position. He beat Adrian, but he beat the far post. 4 minutes to go. And still it remains goalless. Jones takes possession. Good ball towards Ings. And this time Ings is through. He's done it! It's the late show again. And it's Danny Ings again. 3 goals in his last 2 games. And with less than a couple of minutes to go, Burnley surely a snatch victory. Danny Ings gets his 5th goal of the season. And what a timely goal that was. In the last minute of normal time. There's relief all around the ground. West Ham's resistance has been finally broken. The 10 men are in front. And Adrian is beaten at last. 5 added minutes at the end of the game. And now Burnley want the whistle as soon as possible. Referee Roger Rees playing the advantage. West Ham still have it. Well out, one there by the header. And Jones has got Ings away. He's onside. Naden. He's around Adrian and he's missed. But it doesn't matter. Burnley won it, and Danny Ings in the last minute of normal time. Snatch victory when it looked all the while Adrian wasn't going to be beaten. Save after save after save he made, but Danny Ings got it in the nick of time and has got all 3 points for Burnley. 1-0 winners over West Ham United. Well, there we are. 2 magnificent, dramatic games to start the month of October off for you. Obviously, that's the end of our first video from that month of October. So 6 points from those 2 games have really given us an opportunity. Now, there are some news that I should give you before we go. No Craig Dawson, he's out for 3 weeks, which is a blow as far as the centre-back's concerned. He obviously injured himself in the match against West Ham that you've just seen now. So he's going to be replaced, I would have thought, by Michael Duff, and we'll get another centre back in. It will be Michael Keane that will come in as the reserve. And also we've had a suspension as well for, I think it was for Glenn Whelan. He's obviously out for the Everton match, so we can't use him for the Everton game. Just before we leave you, this is how that's European. That's the European table. That's Group D, and we're second in that group with AC Milan to play. We've played 2, 1-1 and drawn 1. Capital One we know about. That's the match at Old Trafford. That's the final game. FA Cup we're not in. So at the start of the video we said we were in 5th position, but we're not. We're now 2 points ahead of Everton, although Everton have a game in hand over us. And that could well be a telling factor. They could still end up being top of the table after their match day, but that's where we are at this stage of the season. We play Everton in the next game, so that's a bit of a top of the table clash, the next Premier League game. So obviously in our next video there's 3 crucial games. We've got a top of the table clash in the Champions League in Group D against AC Milan at Turf Moor. Then with another top of the table clash in the Premier League at Turf Moor against Everton. And of course Manchester United in 3rd place. We play them at Old Trafford in the Capital One Cup. So there's plenty to see and there's plenty to do in the next 3 games that will finish off our October Fest action. In the meantime, that's all we've got time for this video. I hope very much that you've enjoyed those 2 dramatic games that we've been able to bring you on this video. Please subscribe to my channel. This channel couldn't function without you lot, without you all viewing us and subscribing. It makes my job a lot easier when people do subscribe and appreciate the videos. I know McClaren94 does. Special mention to him, by the way. It was him who actually, it was his videos that inspired me to do all this, so he's gonna take a lot of the credit as well. Okay, well, okay, until the next video, I'll bid you a fond goodbye, and we'll see you for the second part of October. From all of us here, from myself anyway, goodbye for now. Bye bye.